begin, why don't we start as ever, just in a cross-legged position. When you get there on your mat, focusing really on analysing how you're sitting, how you're showing up today. Yoga, after all it means is union. Yoga is the union of mind and body, yourself with the world around you. And one of the best ways we can do that is just simply through observing. So notice your posture. Notice your breath coming in and out. Any points where you might feel stuck in the body. Perhaps any points of tension on the inhale and the exhale. Or even points where you might feel slightly stuck in your mind this evening. Thoughts that are reoccurring. Maybe you've had a bit of a long, tiring day. Whatever it is that's been going on for you, simply watch it, observe it, and sit with it. Take your hands into any mudra of your choice, palms facing upwards, thumbs to first finger, perhaps one over the other in your lap. Choosing your way of sitting and of being to start your yoga practice today. And we're going to really work on combining the usual breathing exercises that we would do at the start of each class with each movement is how we'll begin today. So just focus on the inhale for 1, 2, 3, pausing, exhaling, 3, 2, 1. Starting to bring in some movement with each breath, inhaling, rise your hands up. I'd advise keeping your eyes closed, but feel free to have them open if you want. Pausing, exhaling, hands opening, going down, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, rising the hands up for 3. When you get to the top, stretching, pausing. Exhaling, hands go wide. 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center one last time with this movement for 3. Rising up. Pausing. Exhaling, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. We'll all meet in a child's pose to begin. Taking knees wide on the mat. Stretching your hands out. Noticing each point where your fingertips touch your mat as you walk your hands out. Massaging your forehead into the ground as you sink down. And we'll keep going with that even breath on the inhale and the exhale. Breathing in. Exhaling. Breathing in. Exhaling, sighing out anything you don't want to carry with you through your yoga today. Breathing in positivity and energy. Exhaling, sighing out, letting it go. Moving to tabletop. Moving the hips in our circular direction, backwards, to the side. Maybe even moving the arms, the shoulders, any way you want, just to wake up the body. Change in direction. If you started clockwise, going anti-clockwise, or vice versa. And then coming back to center. Going to extend the right arm. Gaze following, drishti set at the front of your mat. Extend the left leg, really focusing on if you can keep them straight, parallel, strong to the mat. Holding here. Before exhaling, knee to elbow. Pausing. Inhaling, stretching for 1, 2, 3. Holding. Exhaling, 3, 2, 1. Rounding the spine. Inhaling, 1, 2, 3. Pausing at the fullest extent of the pose. Exhaling, 3, 2, 1. Hands go back down to the mat. Left arm extends in front of you. Right leg extends back. Checking your stance first. Checking our bandhas. Your in kind of middle is engaged as well. Drishti to your front hand. Gaze set. And then we go elbow to knee. Exhale. Inhaling, stretching out. 1, 2, 3. Pausing. Exhaling. 3, 2, 1. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3. Holding. Exhaling. 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center. And just noticing how taking a little bit longer over these quite familiar postures by now, how that changes them, how it kind of adapts the pose. And we'll start by lifting the left arm up towards the ceiling. Gaze follows. Thread the needle, taking your left arm under the right. Left ear goes down to the mat. Then we'll stretch out the right arm out in front of you. If you feel like even more of a stretch, stretching out that right leg as well. Maybe even going for the challenge of seeing if we can lift that leg. Catch the foot with the front arm. Staying there for 3, 2, 1, and releasing. Coming back to center. Recalibrating, coming back to tabletop. Going again on the other side, lifting the right arm up. Exhaling, swooping it under, thread the needle on the opposite side. And then just like before, either extending your left arm, left reaching for that tricky, slightly wobbly hold and staying there for 3, for 2, for 1, before coming back to center once again. When we're there, going to tuck the toes under, hover the knees up, holding here, gaze at the front of your mat. 3 big breaths before lifting up, downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs and really, really stretch down the back of those legs today. Moving deeply, moving mindfully. Observing the sensations along the back of your thighs, backs of your calves. Noticing the points where your hands touch the earth. Lengthening through the spine. And really releasing any tension that you might be holding in the neck. Come back to stillness. Hold this pose. Focus goes inwards. Concentration, observation goes inwards too. Take your gaze towards the front of your mat. Walk your feet to the front slowly, slowly, slowly. When you get there, ragdoll, feet hip width apart. Opposite hands take opposite elbows. Coming into your forward fold, bending the knees. Lengthening through the spine. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Making sure every inhale is the same as every exhale. Pausing at the top and the bottom. Releasing the hands, coming up to standing slowly, 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 vertebrae by vertebrae. When you get there, rolling the shoulders. Maybe bringing the eyes back to closed again, bringing that focus inwards. And then inhale, rise the hands, but this time still to our count of 1, 2, 3. Pausing. Exhaling, folding down. 3, 2, 1. Inhaling, halfway lift, nice flat back. Holding. Noticing the pose, pressing the shoulder blades in towards the spine. Exhaling, folding down. 3, 2, 1. Inhaling all the way up. 1 breath, 1 movement. Taking our moment to pause, to reset. Before exhaling, 3, 2, 1, bowing down. Inhale, halfway lift. Drishti, your gaze just beyond the feet. Exhaling, 3, 2, 1, folding. Pausing before rising up, all the way up. 1 breath. Holding, exhaling, 3, 2, 1, all the way back down. At the front of your mat, we're going to rise to halfway lift. Then plant your hands at the front, taking your right foot back, followed by the left. Exhaling, lowering down through Chaturanga Dandasana, or knees first. Coming to Cobra, so forearms in front of you. And breathing in, lifting the chest, gaze goes up. Exhaling, lowering down to the mat. Inhaling, rising up, hands should be nice and wide. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, rising up, really treating this as a moving meditation. Exhaling, lowering down. Pressing the hands underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes, downward facing dog, lifting those hips, pushing them back to the back of your mat. Gazing to the front, stepping the left leg through first, followed by the right. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, rising up, hands reach up. Finding that moment of stillness. Before exhaling, hands go wide, hinge from the hips as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands go down to the mat, stepping the left leg back, followed by the right. Exhaling, lowering all the way down. Coming to Cobra once more, forearms wide on the mat. Rising up, inhaling up, gaze goes up. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhale, lifting up, pressing through the arms. Really feel like you're kind of forcing your chest through the gateway. Exhaling back down. One more time, lifting up. Exhaling back down. Pressing through the hands, bring them back under the shoulders, tucking the feet, going maybe through Chaturanga to downward facing dog, straight there or through knees. Always your choice how you transition, how you get from moment to moment. Gazing to the front of your mat, bending the knees, hopping, stepping or jumping to the front. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, hands go up. Root down as you rise up. Pause. Find your version of stillness. Exhale, fold down. We go to our last sun salutation A. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back to halfway lift, then plant the hands. Step the right foot back, followed by the left. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra this time, your choice always. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Staying here for 3 breaths. Big breath in. Exhale. Gazing to the front of your mat. Bending the knees, setting your intention before making that hop forwards. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Sinking down. Checking your form. Whether your knees aren't overshooting the toes, hands as close to sort of near the ears as we can get them. Finding your chair for today. Holding here before taking hands to heart. Twisting to the left. So right elbow goes down, left elbow raises, gazing up between, sort of just beyond your left elbow. Finding your breath here before coming back to center. Hands up, taking a break if ever you need it. Or if you're still going strong, taking hands to your chest. Twisting to the other side. Left elbow goes down. Right elbow raises. Gazing beyond your right elbow. Staying here, embracing that tapas, that heat, before coming back to Utkatasana once more. Big breath in, and then exhale, forward fold. Well done. Taking your feet slightly wider, coming to either gorilla pose, palms under your feet, or yogi toe lock, first two fingers around your big toes, your choice. But feeling these two so important poses, the balance always between softness and strength, times to push ourselves, and time to rest as well. And just have a play around, gently rocking forwards and backwards, assessing your balance, helping you to ground down through the feet before coming back to center, releasing those hands out in front of you, stepping your right foot back, followed by the left. Exhaling, Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering down. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha Savasana. Exhaling, Ardha Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. Right foot steps through warrior one. Inhaling, reaching up, coming to our strong Virabhadrasana one, our first warrior of the day. Hands go up, hips facing forwards, nice and strong, energy rising. Embracing this pose, sort of lifting up through the center line. Staying here before exhaling, hands go down to the mat. Right foot steps back. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Warrior one on the left side, left leg goes through. Inhale, reach up. Energy lifts, smile lifts, everything reaching upwards. Hips facing forwards, feet firmly planted. Exhale, hands go down to the mat. Left foot joins the right. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Go again, right foot steps through. Warrior one. Rise up. Exhale, lower down. This time, right hand comes to the inside of your front leg. Left arm lifts. Gazing towards your top left hand, really feeling that gentle twist. Start waking up the spine. Either staying here, coming into the bind, hands touching behind the back, still gazing up, holding this just a little while longer, feeling what this pose feels like, before taking your hands back down to the mat, right foot steps back, exhaling, lowering down, inhaling, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Savasana, exhaling, Ardha Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. Left foot steps through warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1, rising the hands up, finding your foundations, inhaling to that point of stillness, before exhaling, left hand goes down to that front leg, reaching up with the right, wiggling the fingers, gazing up, feeling that gentle twist, either staying here or coming into the bind on this side. Don't worry if your hands sort of don't touch yet either. All about working there week by week by week as well. Gazing up towards the ceiling in whatever variation you choose. Staying here before swooping both hands down to the mat. Left foot steps back to meet the right. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Swoop your right leg up. Really kind of feeling this stretch and how it changes the posture first. So notice if you're still even in the hips, even in the weight in your right hand and your left hand. Staying there. Before bringing your knee to nose, really rounding it in, rounding the spine up, getting it as close as you can, seeing if you can even touch your nose with your knee, and then shooting it back up to the sky. One more time, knee to nose, rounding it in. Exhaling, taking it back up and down, back to downward facing dog. Taking a child's pose to rest if at any time we need it. Or if we're feeling good, extending the left leg up. Really pointing it first, keeping the hips parallel. Weight evenly distributed. Before bringing knee to nose. Nice and forward, rounding the spine. Going back, stretching it up. Exhaling, bringing it back in. One more time, leg up to the ceiling before bringing it back to downward facing dog. We'll all take one child's pose together just to rest after those more energetic poses. Sinking back. Letting the head go down to the mat. Watching the breath. Taking your time to rest, to find stillness between moments of activity, our dashing around from moment to moment in our daily life. Taking that time before coming back to downward facing dog, lifting the hips, stepping straight through warrior one, inhaling, rising up, exhaling, opening out, warrior two. Hands to the front and back of your mat. Nice bend in that front leg. Finding your strong pose. Holding here. Before exhaling, right hand goes down, left hand lifts. Gazing up to the left hand. Before exhaling, peaceful warrior. Right hand lifts. Holding here for 3, for 2, for 1. Back to Virabhadrasana 2. And we come to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Extend that front leg so it becomes nice and straight. Feeling like someone's pulling on your right fingertips. Torso goes forwards, forwards, forwards. When it can go forwards no more, letting it go down. Hand lands wherever feels natural, whether that's leg, calf, ankle, ground. Left hand rising up. Staying in your strong triangle, 3-angle pose. Holding that there. Or having any experiment you want today, either taking hands either side of the head, holding, holding, holding. Or even if you're fancy playing with the bind a bit more today, seeing if you can come into the bind from a pose like this. Gazing up. Or staying from Trikonasana, whatever variation you're choosing. Taking hands back down to the mat. Framing that front foot. Stepping the right foot back. Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering down. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. From here, left leg steps through. Warrior 1 on the left. Inhale, rise. Pause. Exhale, warrior 2. Pause. Exhale, going down, left hand drops. Right hand lifts. Gazing up to the ceiling. Holding here. Before inhaling, left hand lifts, gaze follows, peaceful warrior. Holding that position. Before coming back to Virabhadrasana 2. Keeping that focus, gaze at the front finger. And then transitioning mindfully, Trikonasana. Straightening that front leg, pulling on the left fingers, lowering down. Moment to moment, transition to transition. Think about not only where you're going, how you're getting there as well. Gazing up. Either staying here, playing with any variations you like. For 3, for 2, for 1. Hands going back to the front of your mat. Left foot steps back to meet the right. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Bending the knees, keeping that momentum, looking at the front of your mat, hopping, stepping, jumping to the front. Inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, arms go wide, folding down. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, rising all the way back up. Hands go wide as you do. Slight back bend. Coming back to Tadasana, mountain pose. I'm going to come now, after our reset, to tree pose. And for this, as always, we're going to lift the right leg first. So focus on grounding down through your left side, really lifting those toes, pressing evenly through the four corners of your feet. We want to feel nice and solid, really strong on that left side. So when we lift the right leg up in front of us, might help with those wobbles. And we'll first open out the leg. Left hand going out to the side, either keeping the knee bent or straightening, if we like, bringing it forward. And then to the side. Holding there. Before bringing that leg back to the front and setting it down. Inhale, hands go up. Exhale, hands back down to the side. Tree pose, standing on the left leg. So either sole of the foot to calf or thigh, avoiding just the knee joint wherever we can. Holding there, even foot at the ankle, any variation fine. Taking hands to prayer at heart. And seeing if you can close your eyes here, if at all possible, how that changes the posture and the balance. Staying there, keeping eyes open or closed, rising the hands up, opening your branches out towards the ceiling. I always find this quite a really joyful, kind of lovely balancing pose to start this equanimity sequence. And then bringing hands back to center. Slowly releasing your right leg. Shaking out the hips. And then grounding down through the right foot first. Lift your left knee. Opening it out to the side. Either staying here with the knee bent or practicing with that yogi toe lock, straightening the leg first and then opening out. Finding your variation, your way in to open out the hips, opening tree pose for today. Bringing that left leg back to center, lowering it down. Inhaling, hands go up. Exhaling, Tadasana. Inhale, tree. Now standing on the right leg, ankle, calf, thigh. Finding your variation. Hands can either be in front of you, or even you could go from backwards, namaste. Hands in prayer behind your back. Really opening up the chest. Finding a steady point of focus. Holding here. Before, if they're behind your back, releasing the hands. If they're in front, just rising them up to the side. Opening out, stretching up, gaze goes up. Exhaling back down. Releasing that left leg. Coming to the front of your mat if you're not already. And then extending those arms up. Exhale, hinging from the hips. As you do so, shoot your right leg back. Virabhadrasana 3, our strong warrior poses for today. Holding here for 3, for 2, for 1, before opening out, half moon. Ardha Chandrasana, left hand goes down, right hand lifts, lifting that right hip up, 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 up. Lovely. Coming back to center. Inhaling, hands go up once more. Exhaling, hinging from the hips, left leg shoots back. Virabhadrasana 3 on the opposite side. Holding here our point of stillness as best we can for 3, for 2, for 1, before opening out Ardha Chandrasana on the opposite side. Right hand goes down, left hand lifts, left hip opening out. Coming back to center. Inhaling, hands go up. Exhaling, opening out wide, forward fold. Ragdoll, taking your feet wide to hip width. Coming back down into these more restorative poses. Lengthening the spine. Letting anything go, any judgment we might be feeling. Balancing poses are often ones that bring up a lot of sort of thoughts and like, oh, it's wobbling a lot today. Whatever it is, let that go. Shake it out. Come back to the present moment. Release your hands down onto the ground. Step your right foot back, followed by the left. Exhaling, lowering down, 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 all the way to the floor. When you get there, we're going to come to bow pose here. So for this back bend, we're just going to start by lifting the chest first, rising it up. Exhaling, lowering down. Bend your right knee. Take the inside of your right ankle with your right arm. Bend your left knee. Taking the inside of your left ankle. And then you can either, if you have any back issues, be quite careful with this one. You can either stay here really feeling that pull on the front of your thighs as you get your feet closer to your bum. Or use that pull to start lifting yourself up, rising the knees up and the chest up, flexing the feet, holding here before lowering back down. We'll come into that one more time. So inhaling, lifting, lifting, lifting. Exhaling, lowering back down. Taking the hands underneath the shoulders, moving the hips side to side, moving in any way that kind of feels good to you here now, before pressing back to a child's pose. Lengthening the spine after those back bends. Just one big stretch before coming down to one side, swinging the legs round to the front of your mat, stretching them out. When you get there, sitting up nice and tall. Bringing the sole of your right foot into your left thigh. Inhaling, hands stretch up. Pause. Exhale, fold. Really feeling that length through the spine as you pull deeper into this forward fold. It's often quite nice to see if you can keep your left hand at your front foot. And then take your right hand over, opening out the chest. You should really feel that on the right hand side of your body. Stretching and lengthening. Allowing the hands to walk back up your left leg. Stretching the right leg out. Changing sides, noticing first if there's any difference between the two sides before bringing left sole of your foot up to meet the inside of that right thigh. Inhaling, hands go up. Pausing. Exhaling, 3, 2, 1. Either staying with this forward fold just as it is, or intensifying that stretch by first kind of lifting that left arm up and over, twisting the torso to face more of the ceiling, and then letting that hand go towards your front foot, still gazing up to the ceiling. And we all feel stretches like this in different ways. For me, it kind of really gets the side of my back, my lower back. Holding that stretch. For releasing the hands, taking them back up your leg. Coming back to seated. Hands go out in front of you. And we'll all lower down to the mat together. For 3, for 2, for 1. When you get there, bending the knees. Planting the feet on the ground. And we're going to come to bridge pose. So interlacing the hands behind your back, walking the shoulder blades in towards each other, lifting the hips. Holding here. Big exhale, lower down. It's going to rise up either to another bridge pose or a wheel pose, if that's in your practice, taking your hands behind your ears and lifting up this way. So either bridge or wheel, whatever you feel comfortable with, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhaling, lowering all the way back down. Lifting up one more time, your choice, bridge or wheel. Exhaling, lowering down. Stretching the legs out onto your mat. Nice and long. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest, coming to our supine twist. So taking that right leg over to the left hand side of the body, guiding it out before stretching out that right arm. Gaze goes out towards the right. Simply watching the body and the breath. Coming back to center. Inhaling, left knee comes to the chest. Pausing. Exhaling, knee goes over to the side. Left arm extends. Being with your breath, with your yoga, in your present moment. Simply sinking into the ground. Come back to center. Soles of the feet to touch, knees out wide. Supta Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And the invitation is either to stay here, Supta Baddha Konasana, or to extend the legs, Shavasana. Whatever variation you take for your final resting pose today, making sure you have jumper or blanket or socks if you need or wish. Simply just remaining still. That's all we've got to do. Letting go of any tension that you might be holding, especially in the shoulders, in the joints, the neck. Taking this moment to consciously acknowledge it. Exhale, side out, release. Eyes closed. Palms facing up. Relaxing, bringing your awareness through your body, starting with your toes, relaxing soles of the feet, front of the feet, moving up through the legs, calves, shin, relaxing through the knee joints, thighs, hips, bringing your kind attention and awareness through your lower back, mid back, upper through your shoulder blades, over and round your shoulders, relaxing, letting go. Bringing softness through the belly, the chest, softness to the rise and fall of your breath. Up and over your upper arms, elbows, forearms, bringing your awareness to each of your 10 fingers in turn. feeling that relaxation, that awareness, coming back up your arms from your fingers up over the shoulders, relaxing, lengthening through the neck, taking your awareness up and over the crown of your head, relaxing through the forehead, jaw, eyes, relaxing tongue, cheeks, ears, being aware of any thoughts or sounds away around you, letting them come in, wash over you, exhaling, letting them go. With your eyes still closed, roll over to your right side, bringing your knees into your chest, giving yourself a hug, before finding your way back to a cross-legged position, that lovely circular structure we begin and end each class in the same way. Taking hands to heart, eyes still closed, tension still inwards, bringing anything into your heart you might need. Inhaling, hands lift, pausing, stillness, exhaling back down. Hands go up to your forehead, and with an open heart and an open mind, thank you very much for joining today as always.